Welcome to the Speridian Advantage video podcast. I'm your host, Greg Turner, Senior Director for Speridian's Innovation and Strategy Center of Excellence. We're going to discuss field service solutions, and with me today is Karam Rashid, Vice President of Systems Integration and Speridian's subject matter expert on field service solutions. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Greg. It's an honor to be here and share a little bit of our experiences with the audience. As you know, I'm the Vice President for Solutions and Architecture at Speridian. I'm an enthusiast when it comes to creating modern customer experiences and have been doing this for over 18 years now. And we at Speridian, we are very focused on how modern technologies are redefining the way we engage with our customers.
Excellent. Thank you, Karam, and it's great to have you here. But let's dive right in. How has field service evolved over the years?
It's a great question. Field services has evolved a lot over the years from its early days. And one of the things that field service is today is it's your last frontier. It's your last touch point in your customer's journey. And it has now become an essential selling tool for various different industries. We can define or we can categorize field services into, let's say, three stages. You have your infancy or initial. Everybody starts from somewhere with the disconnected systems, manual processes, tribal knowledge, yet you still have to do your field services. Then you get into a little bit more foundational field services where you go ahead, you build something up, you take different disconnected systems and tools to start scheduling and optimizing your schedules in a way. And then as you go along, then you get into more advanced field services where knowledge becomes the key, distributed coordination, cloud-based systems, AI-driven routing is essential. And then you equip your field agents with the tools, right tools when they go do the job. And then you have the autonomous, where the world is headed towards autonomous everything, cars and planes and whatnot. Now you're getting into autonomous field services. And that's where you would want to be. You would want to reduce your operational cost and make your customer's journey very, very reliable all the time. It's repeatable system, repeatable customer experience with all the artificial intelligence, virtual reality. You have your IoTs, and all of that is basically a part of where field services is headed.
That's great, Karam. And I think what you've described is how companies are really expanding on customer interactions. And there's been a lot of research in the business schools across the globe in the US that show for every customer interaction, there's a positive revenue impact to the organization. And so maximizing, positive customer experiences, maximizing positive customer interactions really adds a lot of value to the organization.
Absolutely.
So let's turn our attention to understanding, the client challenges that we support and why they automate a field service operation. A lot of what I read on field services says that there's challenging around scheduling and routing personnel. Is that true? And can you explain?
That really is a big challenge for organizations. Without an automated field services solution, it does become a hassle. Uh, a self-learning, smart scheduling, and routing mechanisms, if you don't have them, you leave your customer with an unpredictable service, which is the last thing that you would want to do because they define who you are as an organization. Uh, what it means, you maybe you do the wrong skill for the wrong job at the wrong time with the wrong equipment or tools to be able to get things done in the first go. That is a key challenge that companies and are looking to overcome to make sure that customer receive the service in a very predictable, very streamlined, very repeatable model. So people don't like surprises anymore, and they are very vocal about if something is not to their liking, whether if I said I'll be there at 2 o'clock and I end up showing there at 3 without telling the customer anything, or I may end up early, but the customer needs to know that I'm going to be there early. So that's where this there is a challenge, and there definitely is a requirement to fulfill that challenge, both from a process point of view as well as technology point of view.
Yeah, that's and I think to to really point it out is that what we're seeing is organizations that don't have automation in their field service operation may be adversely affecting the delivery of services to their customers, which by definition would be a negative interaction, right? And so it'll have the opposite effect of adding value to the organization. And so I think that's an area that's pretty hurtful to an organization if they're not automated. Is that how you see it?
To say the least, yes, it hurts, because we all try to make sure that our customer get the best service, and you wouldn't want to impact that by any which way that you can avoid. Uh, we talked about different maturity levels of field operations. An optimized routing engine and scheduling engine becomes crucial to run the operations like a well-oiled machine. And like a well-oiled machine, it runs effectively and smooth, making your customer's experience pleasant and repeatable and consistent. And cost of operations is optimized. And like what we saw the challenge, but what it means is you have the right skills for the right job at the right time with the right tools. That is that's the optimum level that you would want to achieve.
Yes, and I think from a client's perspective, these are difficult challenges, and they can't just you can't just hire anybody to help you do this. You really need to bring in subject matter experts as yourself, and also great partnerships. And Speridian has a great partnership with a leading solution provider, or the Oracle Corporation. And you know but I think what's really important are results. Can you share some of the results, some of the return on investment or tangible benefits that clients have realized by using Speridian technologies and partners like Oracle?
That's a great point, Greg. A right partner and the right tool. You need to have the right mix, and then you have to have the right strategy from a customer point of view. You need to define your end goal, and then you need to plan how do we get to that end goal. It's a journey that we have to start, and then you need everything to be in place to be able to do that. We've been lucky enough to work with some of the great customers here, across the globe, right from Asia Pacific to Middle East to North America. One of the customer that comes to mind is Badger Daylighting, and their philosophy is an inverted pyramid where the customer sits right on the top. So every policy that's done or being used is basically keeping the customer in mind. And their entire operation, entire interaction with the customer is about sending these very highly engineered and modern trucks to do hydrovac excavation at the customer location. And that's where their repeatable business comes in as well. Their billing processes are streamlined. The customer knows exactly what the service they provided, the services they have used and signed off on, so they don't get any surprises when they see a bill. The entire customer 360 degrees in front of them. You have 160 corporate locations across the North America, so you need a very smart system to be able to optimize and route those highly skilled professionals with that highly modern equipment like these hydrovac trucks, and then the equipment that goes on top of it to make it run in that whole fashion is something that we're very proud of, that we help them in their journey. Husqvarna, I mean, there's so many examples that we can give you. Husqvarna is another example that comes to mind where there's B2B and then B2C interaction is happening. And it's a very, again, at the end of the day, the end goal is that when somebody shows up to your door, it's selling you as your customer, it's selling you as a brand, and the service they need to provide to their customers, that customer will come back to you based on that interaction alone.
That's excellent. And so our clients really are experiencing both the, the operational efficiencies, the cost savings as part of their return on investment, but more importantly, they're improving the customer interaction for Badger Daylighting and obviously Husqvarna. And so that's awesome. We're about to wrap up, but before we wrap up, Khurram, on my podcast, I'd like to, have my guests leave our audience with three takeaways and things that, are good reminders for them as they pursue improvements and enhancements to their field service operations.
Absolutely, absolutely. We talked about field services, your last frontier in your customer journey, and it defines you as a brand and helps you differentiate and it helps you grow. So my three takeaways would be that you need to define your optimal field services maturity level, your target model where you want to be. You need to choose the right product that provides the right functions for your desired future state. You don't want to go into spending a lot of energy in building tools from the scratch. As we said, world has evolved, the technology has evolved. It has everything that you need. You just need to be able to select the right product uh, for your future state. And to get to that, the third point would be choose the right partner that can help you through the process of making your field operations run like clockwork. It shouldn't just be that I can implement this or I can tell you what to do. You need to have that mix where a partner that can walk you through your journey of where you want to be, how you will get there, and to be able to implement that right technology to make your uh, field service operations successful.
Yes. And I think so it's, if I could paraphrase, it's really, you know, be honest with yourself as an organization and really define what is that optimal field service maturity level. And when you choose the right product, you really have to do a good job of defining what are your requirements, what makes you unique, and what can you adopt as best practices that might be embedded within a platform and solution, like say the Oracle solution. And of course, choose the right partner, right? There are so many companies out there today, but one that really focuses on, your results and listening and understanding what you need and then executing to meeting your objectives. So I think that's really a powerful message and three great takeaways, Khurram. Thank you so much for being our guest today. This session was outstanding. To also thank our audience. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Speridian Advantage video podcast. For more information about the solutions we have discussed or to become a guest on an upcoming podcast, please contact us at info@speridian.com. Thank you.